Hello guys, welcome back to Kessie's Cuisine, where we satisfy your food cravings with easy and amazing recipes. If you're new to this channel, hello, you're welcome. And if you're old in this channel, what's up? Thank you for coming back to my channel. I love you guys. So today I am going to be taking you guys to Port Harcourt, to Bayelsa State, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this fisherman soup with 9 lives. Okay, this amazing fisherman soup was so tasty, and I will show you why it has 9 lives. Okay, first first of all, we are going to be showing you all our ingredients. We have some prawns, we have some mussels, we have some cocoyam that we'll be using to thicken our soup. We have some fish filling, some calamari, some crab filling, we have some catfish, and then we will be using some uzazi uziza leaf. Okay, we use some uziza leaf and some uziza spice. We'll be using some pepper, some onions, some prawn, and some king prawn. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to do, and what I actually did off camera for my catfish, is that you would want to wash your catfish properly with some lime or some salt, and then you want to rinse it with hot water, and then you rinse it later with cold water to stop the cooking process. Okay, now I would actually spice and marinate all my seafood and keep them until I want to use them. This just allows the spice really infuse into your fish and then all your seafood ingredients. Okay, so as for my fish, as you can see, I used some pepper mix. That was just atarodo pepper, scotch bonnet, some onions that I blended together, and I use it to rub my fish generously, and I'll be adding in some seasoning cubes. Now I will rub all the seasoning cubes and the pepper and everything into my fish, and I will allow that sit until I am ready to use my fish. Okay, now for my second ingredient, while I was like, okay, while I'm preparing my seafood, I'll boil my cocoyam and like kind of multitask. Okay, blend your cocoyam while boil your cocoyam. While it's boiling, you can actually continue with the others. Now I will clean my king prawn. To properly clean your king prawn, you have to remove the shell, and then you divide the back of the king prawn to remove the vein. For my king prawn, it was already clean, like the vein, it was already deveined, but it just had the shell on it. So what I will just do is that I will just clean, like remove the shell. But if your king prawn is not really properly clean, like you want to open that middle part and just remove the black vein that you see there. So when I was done cleaning my king prawn, so what it looked like, I added some seasoning cube to my king prawn, and then just adding some seasoning cube, and then you want to marinate it until you're ready to use it. That is the same process I'm going to do for every single thing. All right, now as you can see, for my next seafood, I had my prawn, and what I'll just do is that my prawn had some of this shell at the bottom part, so you just want to remove it. But if you like it on your prawn, you can leave it, but for me, I don't really like it, so I just had to remove every single thing. As you can see, we went all Little Mermaid on this fisherman soup. We went to the river and went to catch everything that we could get. So when I was done with my prawn, this was what it was looking like, and then once again I am going to season that and put it aside. This is just what we call like building of flavors for my soup. It was time for me to clean my mussels. Now if you want to use them like this with the shell, it is totally up to you, but I didn't really want to use it with the shell in my food, so I was like, okay, let me just wash it and remove the actual meat, or should I say food, that is inside. So what you want to do is that you want to wash it properly. This thing is actually, let me not say very dirty, but it is dirty. It has sand in it, so you want to clean it and wash it very well, especially if you want to use the whole thing in your food, because you can actually cook the whole thing, you get, and like serve it with the shell and everything. But I was not doing that. So for me to clean it, you want to, I think it's the top or the bottom, there is a small space. You will just use your knife to penetrate it and open it, and then remove. This is the food inside though. Just remove it. Just use your knife to kind of scrape it out, and then it will come out. But I think it will be easier if you cook everything and then try to remove the food. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you like cooking it like this, or do you like cooking it with the shell, or you like removing the actual food and then cooking it like that? Let me know what you guys like doing. But for me, I thought this method was actually reasonable for a soup. So this was, I tried to remove everything, and but it was so stressful and tiring, but I tried, sha. So when I was done with that, my cocoyam was cooked. If you want to know if your cocoyam is cooked, try to put in a fork or a knife or something sharp, and it will just run through it. Do you get? So this is all my seafood. I was done spicing and marinating everything. This blended stuff is my cocoyam, and can you see the mussels? Look at the way it's very small after I packed all those plenty things. Anyway, this is my crayfish, and this is all I marinated this one, marinated everything, and I was good to go. I actually like prepping my food before I start cooking, because this food is very easy. Once you start cooking it, sharp is ready. So I will advise you to prep your meal, like prep all your ingredients before you start cooking. And what I like doing personally, I like first of all using my oil, like putting my oil in my pot, cooking. I will add in some pepper, my pepper mix, which consists of some scotch bonnet pepper, some onions. That was all that was in my pepper mix. Oh, so I will allow that to cook for some time and actually form like a stew base. So I'll be adding my crayfish seasoning. I'll be adding lots of crayfish. This is fisherman. You have to use everything that is inside, everything fishy. You have to use it for this recipe. So I added in some water that will be enough for me to cook my soup. Okay, and then I'll be adding in my cocoyam. You can gauge your, like, add your cocoyam according to the amount of things you are using, because your cocoyam is actually the thickener. Do you get? And when you finish cooking your food and putting it down, your soup will actually be a little bit thicker than what it was when it was on the fire. Are you understanding me? Hey, okay, let's go. So when I add my cocoyam, I will allow it to dissolve. By allowing it dissolve, just allow it to cook for some time, and then allow it dissolve. This is my uziza seed spice or blend. Just added it to my fisherman's soup, and as you can see, the cocoyam has dissolved. This is when you now start the real soup proper. So I added in my crab. Everything takes about, like, seafood does not take long to cook. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, highest 20. It's only snail that takes so long to cook, but I didn't have snail here. So anyway, Shasha added in my crab. I stir. Allow that to be boiling small. Then after that one, I carried my calamari and then my crab filling. I added this. In fact, once you close this pot and open it, everything is ready. Do you get that? That's why I say you should meal prep before you start. So I was stirring it. So you will want to be stirring it at this point, because this is why you will not add the fish at this point. So I added my mussel. Can you imagine? Look at the way it is small. After packing, in fact, I'm angry. But anyway, let me just calm down. So I will close my pot and allow that to boil. I didn't know why it was foaming, but it was fine at the end of the day. But I didn't know what was giving it this effect. Anyway, I added in my fish, like my fish fillet. I think it's fish fillet. And then I added in my crab. And then I added in, you want to stir small, and then I added in my king prawn. Hey God, oh, this food was so sweet. This why I say this soup is a soup with 9 lives. Can you imagine everything that is inside this pot? Can you imagine? Anyway, so remember that you spice all your ingredients. So don't go and put too much Maggi. This was after I added in everything, and I needed to add in small, so I just added in 2 cubes. And this my pot is very big, so if you want to add in seasoning at the end of the day, remember that you spiced in, like you marinated all your seafood products. Do you get? So don't go and add too much. So this time my food was, in fact, my food was killing it. Hey, it was scenting left and right. So it was time for me to add my fish. At the point where I will add my fish, I will not be stirring my food again, not so much. I will stir, but not so much. So the first process of the catfish was adding in some hot water and then rinsing it with some cold water. That is just to make the fish firm, so the fish is not going to like really break when you are done, or your cooking process. But it's not as if you will not put it now and then you will now start stirring it as if you are looking for something inside. Anyway, after that thing just boiled for 5 minutes, I added my Caesar leaves. Ah yeah, Jesus, this food was sweet. My fisherman's soup was ready. Just look at this thing. Look now. So tell me if you will try this recipe. Everything was ready. Everything was looking fantastic. I served it with some plantain fufu, and in fact, Lord have mercy. I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye. Love you.